right. Let's see here. All right. Hey, everyone. Welcome to Victory Condition Gaming. My name is Doug. Today on the show, we're playing Spire Episode 2. This actual play is brought to you courtesy of our great friend Kent from Roll to Play Podcast, a great actual play podcast. Him and Kristin do some great work on that show, and we're happy to have him come on and GM. This was his favorite game, our favorite RPG of 2018. And he really wanted to come on and play it, and so I'm so glad that he offered to do this for us, and I'm excited to do episode 2. Before we start, let me just introduce everyone as we go down the line. I'll just start to my left, the man behind Gallant Knight Games, Mr. Alan Bahr.
Hey, happy to be here.
We're happy to have you. Next to Alan, we have the one and only, the wonderful illustrator, webcomic extraordinaire, ageofnight.com herself, Amanda Kahl.
Your order did not match the order on my screen, and I was super confused. I'm like, Kristin has a webcomic?
Yeah. No. And next to Amanda is the man from the way up north, where it's cold and snowy 24/7, 365 days out of the year. I think. I don't know. I've never been that part of Canada, but it's the one and only Jason Hunt.
Hello. And the man we have learned is willing to send you chocolate bars in the mail.
True. This is true.
Like to everybody who watches this.
Yeah, let's make sure that
all these people are going to be commenting on the YouTube video.
We should have viewers come up with the name of the subscription service that Jason's Candy Bar Company
is going
to be. I think that would be phenomenal. I can't wait to hear those suggestions.
Oh yeah, I got a list.
And our fifth and final player is the one and only, the better half. Well, no, I'm not going to say the better half. I mean, I should probably say the better half. I think Tim would probably agree that it's the better half of Dice Up Games. But the 50% of Dice Up Games,
I think
Kristin, Devine. What's that?
Just say it. I mean, you could just say it. I think
it's probably the better half of the Dice Up Games.
One half.
One half.
D8 to D6.
All right, and then finally our GM, Mr. Kent Blue from Roll to Play Podcast. Kent, how you feeling? How you feeling today?
Well, I feel like stepping all over everything you're saying there because I came in early. I'm feeling pretty good.
That's fine. This is not an actual it's not a professional podcast like
wow.
Roll to Play.
Let's pump the brakes on that.
So, Kent, this is going to be me handing my show, VCG, off to you and putting it in your hands.
All right. So the show is now in my hands. Just real quick, we are running Spire. We are running the Eidolon Sky module that was put out by Rowan, Rook, and Decker. You can get it on their website. So if you are interested in playing in this at some point, we are going to spoil it just by going through it, or at least portions of it. So I wanted to get that out up front. But definitely head over to Rowan, Rook, and Decker. .com, I believe, and check out all the stuff for Spire. There's a bunch of stuff. I know their Kickstarter for their big source book should be shipping out before too awful long. I know a lot of that's wrapping up. So exciting stuff there. Straight game from Grant Howard and Chris Taylor.
The source book that's shipping, is that the second Kickstarter they did? The for Strata. Yeah, they should be coming up on fulfillment for that soon. I know I got some digital files on it. So awesome. I need to get that one.
But we are playing Spire, which so I don't really want to go over what happened last time just yet because we really just met our characters. We're going to meet them again in here just a moment. But let's set the scene a little bit as we come swooping in over the land of Destra. It's a land of temperate highlands and black gray slate mountains. And off to the north, as we swoop in, the camera swoops in. Off to the north are the homelands of the high elves, the Elfir. It's their big fortresses of ice and thorn up there, and it's just a perpetual winter up there. And as we come in off to the east, you see the east to me is this way. The land of the humans, where they spend a lot of time roaming and finding different like ancient settlements and digging up different ancient relics so they can fight off all these like just vile beasts that are always plaguing their lands. And pardon me, as we come in more down to the south is the land of the Nose. It's a desert land where the Nose are actually almost in weekly skirmishes with all of the high elves. It's just a big war that's going on down there in the desert down there in the Nose. And then off to the west, we have the homelands of the Drow, which is just racked in just what seems to be a never-ending civil war. And out of the west, these refugees are pouring out, seeking safety in the one place they can find, and that is Spire, a mile-high city in Destra. No one knows what Spire is, who put it there, where it came from. There's lots of theories. Maybe it's part of a god, like a leg of a god sticking up out of this land, or maybe someone built it. But there's lots of rumors. No one actually knows the truth. But yeah, the Drow actually used to control Spire, but it was taken from them by the Elfir, the High Elves, in a bloody, bloody war around 2 centuries ago. And now the Elfir allow these Drow refugees to live there in exchange for endurance, which is a 4-year service where the Elfir will take on a Drow, agree to shelter them, feed them. In return, the Drow performs a task for them. There's all kinds of different tasks. Each of our Drow have different endurances. We'll learn maybe a little bit more about that, though we did cover it in our session 0 last time. So if you want more information, load up that video and check that out. But as we come zooming in to this mile-high city, we begin to rise and go around it. And as we go around, we see up near more towards the top, we see these giant sky wells, a couple of them sky wells coming in to land at the sky docks to deliver some goods and pick up goods for trade with the other lands around Spire. And just below these docks, above nets that are there to catch anything that falls off, you see these mega corvids, these large birds swooping in as people of Spire ride on top of these mega corvids, hoping that they can grab something of value that is falling off one of these sky wells. And so we zoom in closer, and we see the outstretched hand of a Drow atop one of these birds, reaching for this vial of green liquid that has fallen off, and his fingers just graze it as it tumbles further and further down. We've come in behind this vial as it tumbles down, and below us we see a ramshackle of buildings that are nailed and bolted and tied onto the side of Spire. Just these buildings that people have just put up outside on the side of Spire. And this place is called Perch. It's a land of small gods where no one was ever really supposed to live. But they do. People have taken up residence here and business here. And we follow this vial as it tumbles end over end, and it shatters on the stoop of a building with kind of a small hiss and a puff of smoke that comes out of it. And we pull up and we see the sign on this door just before it slams open, and 2 of Spire's city guard pour out, one holding their head as blood is gushing from it. And the sign that we saw on the door is the Argent Swan. And so we go into this establishment, this bar, and we meet our party. We'll start with the big Drow up front, holding the hammer which cracked open that poor city guard's head. Alan, let's meet your character.
Hi.
I'm going to be clearing my throat, so you got to give me more than that.
Yeah, so Darveth, he is a revolutionary who likes to use his sledgehammer to break down both the establishment and things in his way, just in a general sense. He's more of a once you have a hammer, everything's a nail kind of guy. And right now, he's got a hammer, and the nail is the establishment. And the elves are the establishment.
All right. And so we go, the camera goes around this, gives a wide berth to this big hammer that has just been used, and a little bit of city guard blood still on it. Jason, let's meet your character.
My character is Hester Lestray, a very slight woman, crazy oversized robes, kind of bookish looking. Nothing too spectacular about Hester really. She's a Vermisian sage though, so she has this far off look to her eyes quite often. She very rarely will look directly at people. She tends to look through you, kind of thing. Right now, she's just wondering exactly what Darveth is up to, though.
Undermining the establishment.
And so we'll continue to go around, fly past this Vermisian sage in their robes, taking in the scene, trying to process what happened. Kristin, we come across probably the more terrifying looking of the group.
Yes. So my character is Dr. Elise Monstressen. She goes by Elle, and she is a midwife. Alan, you look concerned.
Nope, I'm just waiting.
She is a midwife, so her life's work is to protect the young drow that are in egg sacs, the unborn. And she is very short, so the camera probably actually comes down to view her. And she is also in robes, similar to Hester, but she also has a veil that covers her face.
All right, and we swing around to a figure kind of sticking to the back, trying to be in the shadows a little bit. Doug, let's meet your character.
I am Went Crofer, and I'm a bound, and
Sorry, what was that name?
Went.
Sorry?
He's Went. Yeah, no,
Okay.
it's totally, it's. I know it's confusing, but it's Went, and he's like, if you were to like take a drow and like put like leather strapping on him and make him kind of like Batman, that would probably be like my character. And I also have this god that I imprisoned into my sword, and this unwillingly, and this god basically just ridicules me and mocks me all the time, and I'm the only one that can hear it
So
for some reason.
I just want to be clear. You're like a drow Batman with more leather.
With lots of leather, yeah.
I'd assumed as drow we already wore tons of leather. Like it's just I don't know why.
Well,
but
I'm just
heavy.
got like all these straps and stuff around me, and you know.
Oh, so you've got like tactical buckles that do nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that's basically, yeah. I'm tactical buckle Batman drow.
Yeah.
That's
So-
quite the 3-word character concept.
White.
Tactical buckle Batman.
So we swing around from the shadow in the corner and meet the last person of our party who, I don't know, do you have a companion with you, Amanda?
Of course I have my companion with me.
Let's meet your character.
So my character is Kahl Hurst, the Carrion Priest. I'm kind of tall, gangly, and a little bit awkward and creepy looking in my layers of tattered robes. And I have my lovely companion hyena with me. My hyena's name is Gnaw, I think we determined. Yeah, Gnaw.
Gnaw as in chew or gnaw as in nah?
Gnaw as in chew.
Okay.
Is it Gna?
No, Went.
No, it's Gnaw. He can demonstrate if he likes.
Isn't Batman the strong, silent type?
Sorry, Chant.
All right. Yeah, so where we left off, you all had been summoned here by your Magister, who you all are part of the ministry, which is, I mean, is an organization of drow that is trying to help overthrow the Elfir and return Spire back to the drow. It's done through a lot of subversive means. Sometimes it's all-out violence, which has been performed today. A lot of times it's a lot of moving and shaking and behind-the-scenes stuff of setting people up to fall on their own. But people find different ways to upend the natural order of things. So yeah, you all were called to. Well, you were told to meet up individually. Little messenger runners met up with you and delivered your messages, said, hey, meet up here at the Argent Swan. The rest of your group will show up. And you've all kind of noticed things going on lately. So you all met up here. There were city guard, which we're going to change one thing from our session 0. One of our details about the Argent Swan was that it was a favorite watering hole of the city guard, but That the city guard actually don't come to Perch a lot. That's why the bound are so prevalent there, because they perform vigilante justice. You know, they take care of people at Perch, because to move around in Perch, you don't walk the street. You have to secure yourself to buildings and kind of, you know, swing around a little bit, especially in lower Perch where you are. So it's kind of hard to get around. So it's strange. So the city guard stays away. So it's especially strange that while you were here, there were 2 city guard here. But yeah, they definitely paid for their mistake of being down here. One of them pretty badly. So I think where we are, we are all standing here. So I'm going to turn it over to you all as we kind of form a plan. I know you had talked about going, and because there's this serial killer called the Swan that's been terrorizing Perch and New Haven and just, you know, some other places up Spire where we are. We are definitely up Spire, away from the ground. So watch your footing where you are now in Perch, because it's a long fall. That, I mean, you'll die if you fall. There's, you know,
Oh boy.
what's going to happen.
Good. To
So
know.
yeah. So yeah, let's lay out our plan. What you all want to do?
Okay, so with that change to the city guard, does that mean that Alan is actually, or sorry, Darvith has actually clubbed a city guardsman?
Oh
still?
yeah, no, all of that still happened. Yeah, so the city guard was still here. Anybody, especially Went would know that city guard being in Perch drinking would be a little off, not the normal thing to happen.
Perhaps we should follow them and find out why they were here.
Follow who?
The guards who just left. Were you not watching?
I was mostly watching you.
But they were interacting with me. Did you miss them?
No, I was more worried about you.
Why? They're small.
Well, I was assuming that you were going to be arrested or shot.
Sure.
But arrested or shot by that city guard that
I
he
think I've
just
just
cracked in the
realized.
head.
Yeah, I'm not so much concerned with the third party. It would be bad form for us to lose a member on our very, you know, first little mission, get together, gathering, whatever this is we're doing.
Drinking.
Oh
It's
yeah,
a bar.
yeah. Our firebrand definitely has taken or received taken. It's shady ground, you know. A nice bottle of fine liquor from the bartender, who is doing everything they can to clean the glasses and just not look at you all.
All right. We can certainly follow the city guard, because it is like as we were informed vaguely that it's odd for them to be here. So maybe they're here doing something specific that we can find out.
Well, I'm trying really hard not to go full tick here. Taking more effort than I'd expected.
Well, they're
Look,
probably
we-
going to get away the longer we stand here. So
Yeah.
we could go follow them, or some of us could go follow them. But we should probably.
What is our overall purpose? Why do we struggle against those who would keep us down with their boots on our necks?
Because we don't like boots on our necks,
Yeah,
I would imagine.
It sucks.
It's very uncomfortable.
It doesn't feel good.
It's not a literal. Well, I mean,
Right. No. I'm rolling with your metaphor here.
Wait, it was a metaphor?
All right, let's follow the guards. I leave.
All right.
Sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, as you step out of the Argent Swan, the wind hits you this high up. The wind's always blowing. Doug, you're prepared for it. You have ropes and everything wrapped around you. Don't worry, none of you are falling. I'm not going to make you roll not to fall. But Doug, you expect the wind. You know how to move around Perch. You do it all the time. There's places that you can latch onto, and you don't have to swing everywhere. I mean, there are walkways and stuff, but you know.
But I like to swing.
Well, I mean, that's your prerogative.
What you do in your spare time?
What's happening here, Jason?
He's invisible.
Like the guards he didn't see.
Oh my
I
goodness!
rolled really well on myself.
He used his backdoor ability and stepped into the Vermisian vault.
No, actually, I was attempting to repair my mouse.
So our overall mission here is the drugs, right?
I mean, each of you have little story like hooks from your character sheets. So each of you all have a little bit of information about a little bit of things.
Right. Okay.
You were specifically talking to the guards about the Swan, the serial killer, trying to see what information they had.
That's what it, okay.
Yeah. We have a couple of problems: the serial killer and the drugs. Which is it Drek?
Yeah, Drek. Yeah, there's been a really big uptake up Spire of Drek, which is it's a pretty, I mean, it's really kind of a low level drug to be in some of the nicer places up here. Like fancy people take fancier drugs, and Drek isn't exactly that. You know, it's kind of, I guess, in the middle of fancy to non-fancy drugs in Spire. You know,
the working man's drug.
Yeah.
Okay. So I look at Went. If we're trying to bait out the Swan, perhaps the most helpless of us should serve as bait.
All right. Kahl.
We're going.
No,
What?
I meant you.
Why would you meet me?
Anybody wearing that much buckles does not have it together.
Wouldn't it make me more together having all these buckles?
I don't think that's how that works.
So you are standing here on the stoop. I mean, you look
Completely derailed from the following the guard's plan the minute we stepped outside.
You all look
Right.
super cool because the wind's blowing. So those of you with hair, it's blowing.
Oh, we have snappy cloaks, and
those of you
flowing
with
things.
robes and cloaks, everything's whipping in the wind. So
Awesome.
you look super duper cool. Now, I mean, talking about effectiveness, you are just taking up space in a small area.
In a very small area. Okay.
Are we following these guards? Is that what
Yeah.
we're doing?
Where do the guards go?
Professionals.
All right. So as you look around, you see the guards. They've already moved quite a bit way off. They're working their way up. Perch, you know, kind of. You see them on top of these small buildings that are, you know, bolted to the side or just hanging straight from Spire. They're making their way up. They're eventually going to head back into Spire and get back indoors, which would put them. Let me get to my map.
So they're leaving the Perch.
Yeah, they're leaving Perch. They're going to go. Maybe they're going back on duty. Maybe they're going home, but they're definitely heading back in towards the inside of Spire, which would put them around the Ivory Row area.
So, do we want to just go and have Darveth whack one of them on the head again and interrogate him privately, or do we go our separate way? Like, we could go check out that paper, the torch.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was also.
Oh yeah, that was one of the
that was the first thing y'all were going. That was the line you all were pretty much on.
Yeah,
last
that's
time.
where before the whole thing with the guards leaving.
Because
I mean, I'm all on board for bopping a couple of guardsmen on the head and seeing if we can pump them for information. It's not really my area of expertise, but you know, we have Buckles and Hammerman here.
yeah, and just to remind you, the reason you were going to the torch is because the Swan actually likes to send clues and information to this newspaper. Spire has a lot of newspapers. A lot of them operate out of, almost every single one of them operates out of the Works, which is further down Spire. But the Swan has chosen the torch, and they send these. Well, you don't really know exactly what they are, but the torch definitely gets information ahead of time that kind of have clues about the next where the next kill or victim will be.
So
It
maybe
sounds
the
like,
collaborating.
or it sounds like at least the torch would have more information than those city guards.
Well, more than likely, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, the city guards knew as much as you all knew. They didn't know anything more.
All right.
So maybe we should head to the torch.
Or at least that's what they told you. I mean, you could go beat them around and see if anything else falls out.
How does this paper come out again? Is it like a literal paper, or is it?
Oh yeah. There's a bunch of printing presses operating out of the works in Spire.
Okay.
So I mean, you have everything from propaganda newspapers to regular newspapers to anything.
All right. So okay, do we want to go to the torch then and see what we can find out there?
Yeah, I probably best to just store this information in our back pocket about the guards being here when it's strange for them to be. We can probably follow up on that later.
It might be relevant to something else later on down the line.
Since we've already beaten them up a little bit, we don't need to press our luck there.
I will remind you, we are in a mile-high city. To go to the works, it's going to be a bit of a travel. There are definitely one of your party, who could probably make their way there a little bit quicker than the rest of you. But you're definitely going down Spire to get to the works.
Right.
Okay.
And that's where we'll find the main offices of the torch.
Yeah, that's where all the printing presses are, and so the offices have built themselves up around these printing presses. Yeah.
Okay. So do we want to leave right now then, or do we want to continue exploring up here?
Let me try to do a screen share so I can show you this here map.
Ooh.
I mean, there was a murder up here, so we did investigate it a little bit, but not really extensively.
I don't know how this. Oh, whoa.
Oh.
Nope.
I'm working on it.
Did we visit the crime scene of the murder that was up here where we are?
Geez. No, you have not visited a crime scene.
No, we just saw about the news.
So we're going to the works. Is that what?
Yep. So you're currently here, which
Perch,
is Perch, Upper Perch, Lower Perch. The works is way down here. I mean, logistically, you could jump off. That wouldn't turn out well for you, but you could try.
I left my wings at home. I am not doing that.
Yeah, here's where you are. Here's where at least some of you want to be. And the guards are heading this way.
So they're not even vaguely going in the same direction.
Hmm.
All right, can we go check out the crime scene then before we go down then?
That's probably a good idea.
Sure. Let me. I was quit sharing. Okay. I was going to say, let me figure out how to quit sharing. Okay. Yeah, you can go visit the most recent crime scene, which, pardon me, is actually going to take you back up into, I can't remember if we said anything on the first one. Does anybody remember me calling out anything on the first one? A certain spot?
I do not.
If I had said where it was.
You gave us some information about the site of the murder and how the murder was displayed.
Yeah, but I don't think you ever actually gave us a location.
Okay. All right, then I'm going to make up a location. So yeah, this would take you. It would take you inside Spire. It would take you from the outside of it inside into Ivory Row, where behind a theater, actually, they found the most recent one. The theater was. Doesn't have a name at the moment, but maybe will in a minute. But behind it, the pretty much as every other victim has been found, kind of nailed up to the wall with these glass feathers like stuck in their face.
Okay.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, and that's his calling card.
Yeah, that's the calling card, along with there's
Along with the body.
along with the body, along with the clues that are sent to the paper.
Yeah.
And I mean there have been copycats that have tried, but definitely the glass feathers in the face are the signifier to this is the actual swan.
Okay.
It's also not as sloppy. And the other thing is the victims' hearts have also been removed. So.
Right.
Oh yeah, that.
Yes, I remember that part. Yeah. All right. So, how long ago was this murder?
For convenience of story, we'll say it was earlier that morning, so that you have a shot of still catching the scene.
Yeah,
hasn't
that's
all
going
been
to be my next question. Actually,
packed
is
up yet. Yeah.
how badly worked over is the scene already?
Yeah, no, we'll make it where you can get there and work the scene. I mean, you can get there and talk your way into the scene or something.
We can try anyway.
So yeah, that's where y'all are off to. You make your way out of Perch, swinging, dangling, walking on poorly constructed walkways. Eventually, you make your way back inside and travel over to Ivory Row. I mean, we're going to say it doesn't take a whole lot of time, maybe an hour or two. It could take, I don't know. Spire is funny that way. But you get there, you get to this this theater, which is, I mean, has a city guard presence around the back of it. This theater is called the Singing Toad Theater.
Okie dokie.
But yeah, you're there now. There are city guard and people kind of working the scene. I mean, don't think of this as like too much CSI police procedural business. Basically there's city guard standing around like, yep, you got another one here, just keeping people away.
Do we know offhand, is this the first murder in this area, or
no, it's been all around.
so it's not just located in Perch?
No, there's been murders in Perch and in Ivory Row, New Haven.
Okay. So how are we going to get past these guards? I mean, I'm sure they're obviously keeping random passersby away, right?
Yeah.
That'd be the whole reason they're there.
Maybe we should distract them.
And how are we going to do that, Went?
How many are there? Or how many can we see?
There is about 6 city guard in the area. They're not all bunched up together, but a couple here, a couple there, one over there.
So we just need to make a distraction.
A distraction would definitely peel some of them off.
Ooh, can they all see me? Is there a place where I can stand where they can all see me?
I would imagine you could make yourself seen pretty easily.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to use my once per session ability, draw a crowd.
Oh,
Nice.
The way it works is once per session, I can draw a crowd to me in a matter of minutes. People will stop what they're doing so long as it isn't life or death and listen to what I have to say.
All right. So yeah, let's play that out then. What's that look like?
So is there like a soapbox or crate or something nearby?
Oh, absolutely. You're at the back of a theater, so there's some props and stuff.
Step on it, I grab my hammer, and I start yelling about how the oppression is being visited upon us, and boots on necks and hammers and overthrowing the establishment. It's just, that.
Yeah, you start to draw a crowd of just people, drow, humans at first, and then the city guard, they start to notice, they're like, what's going on with this? What's this joker over here doing? So they start to move your way too, and the people are getting riled up a little bit there. The oppression, especially the drow members of the crowd are getting worked up, and they're just eating every single thing you're feeding to them, just taking it in. The city guard are making their way over. They're talking to each other, pointing at you, probably figuring out how they can get you down without, getting the business end of that hammer. How about the rest of you? What have y'all got planned here?
I guess I'll hang back. We'll get a little ways away from Darvath and his little soapbox edition, and once the guards don't seem to be directly paying attention, we'll at least I don't know if everybody else will, but I'm going to try and sneak my way over to the crime scene.
Okay.
See if I can get a closer look anyway.
Okay.
yes.
Yep,
Maybe
agreed.
we'll see
I'm not going to sneak. I'm going to swing over. I'm going to take my rope and
Oh God!
Wait.
swing over to the crimes.
Went while y'all have been working, has been spending the past 10 minutes looking around. It's like,
For grapple.
I don't think that would support my weight. It's a little too high. Finally finds the right nook and cranny to toss a rope up in, and then comes swooping in.
And
So
I'm
you're
gonna do
all-
that. I'm gonna do that really cool thing where like I let go of the rope and I'd like tumble,
Yeah.
and then like I spring to my feet and then
Yeah, you feel like it looks good. So.
Yeah.
So the rest of you, are you all of you going up to the body at the same time, or is there anybody playing lookout? Anybody?
I wasn't expecting an acrobatic entrance, but I guess myself and Went are going to arrive at darn near the same time or something.
I really do want to actually make sure I get a chance to get close to the scene and look around. Would Elle mind being on lookout?
I was just going to volunteer, so that works out.
Okay.
Perfect.
Excellent. Okay, so yeah, Darvith is over there, just really ramping it up. Anytime you see the city guard maybe starting to lose interest or not, or think maybe you're nothing more than just someone shouting stuff off, you really amp it up and get people going. You know, so you got that under control. You got a good thing going on. We're gonna go with the carrion priest here because you're looking at this, and as you get close to it, you're really interested in the heart portion, the chest, this hole in the chest. And the thing that, let's see, the thing that you notice, because I mean you're familiar, this work is too precise for just anybody to do it. It's not a hack and slash thing. Someone got in here and cracked open these ribs. I mean, they had just the right tools that only the morticians have access to.
Mm.
So that is, yeah,
or possibly butchers, but
right. Yeah. Well, this is definitely, I mean, the way the ribs are cracked, you know that it's a rib spreader that only the morticians use.
Mm. All right, that's good to know. While I was close, though, I wanted to also sniff for clues.
Sure.
Literally sniff.
Okay.
So I don't remember how we roll in this game.
I
have a special ability that when I sniff a scene for clues, I do so with mastery, but I don't remember what that means.
So yeah, you roll a d10, and if you have mastery, you are going to roll an extra d10, which mastery is if you have over the action a skill or a domain, which domains play into it in a couple different ways. Like if, let's say, you're using low crime domain, maybe that would apply to if you're doing like some light B&E or something, or if you're in a low crime area like Red Row, you would get an extra D10. So domain is also situational and like location, or location as well.
Gotcha. All right, sniffing for clues.
Okay.
So I'm adding this? Or is it like an
you're
advantage
taking your
thing?
highest result.
Right. So like with advantage is the
Right.
idea. Yeah. So I got an 8.
Okay. So yeah, you got it. That's a success. You don't take any stress for that. So that's what you want.
Super. I smell things.
So yeah, is it just I don't have your character sheet. Is it just you sniff out clues?
Right. It literally all it says is when you sniff around a scene for clues, do so with mastery.
Okay. So yeah,
That's what I'm doing. What do I smell?
So as you're sniffing around the body and stuff, you catch a scent that it's not a biological scent. So it's nothing that comes from death or a victim dying. It's not the smell of a dead body. It's something more sour, like drugs. I mean, it's like drugs in their system.
Chemical smell.
Yeah, like a sulfur, specifically a sulfur. Wow, didn't know I had trouble with that word till just this moment. Sulfur smell. We're going to just avoid that word.
Okay.
So yeah, that is definitely a smell that you pick up, which that's that word sulfur. It is part, at least it's an ingredient, or it's part of some drugs that are taken. I mean, direct being one of them.
Right.
All right. Lookout. You're looking out still.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I see anything?
At the moment, no. Now, I think the city guard, you have started to pick up, because the crowd's not right in your face like they are in Darvis, that the city guard some of them have just figured out by their body language, they're about done with this. They don't see what's happening here as any more than rabble rousing,
Okay.
So
am I picking up on that?
Well, you got a big crowd between you and them, so you're not picking up on it just yet. She's going to pick it up before you do, but you will eventually, because that's your whole MO, is to distract them.
So I just want to let everyone know. So, hey guys, you might want to speed it up. Could be running out of time over here.
All right, let's jump over to our bound Went. What you got going on, Went?
I'm still with Hester.
Yeah, you're still kind of looking around the crime scene. I think Amanda took the body. You all are more searching around the scene portion.
All right. Can I do can I just look for any sort of clues around the area?
Yeah, let's have you. Do you have any kind of ability that would help you out on that?
Not really, I don't think.
Okay.
What? My skills are they're the ones that are X'd off, right?
Yes.
Yes. I should. Nobody said.
Yes.
So it says sneak, pursue, and fight. Those are my 3.
You can sneak up on a clue.
I don't think any of that's going to help you. So you're just kind of kicking things around, looking around. So
yeah, I'm just trying to be sneaky and not be caught while I'm looking.
Let's give a roll a d10.
That's a 1.
Okay. So that is a critical failure.
Awesome.
Which means you are going to take double stress, which you don't have any. You don't. We're going to put this on mind, kind of stress to your mind, which you don't have any free slots on. Which I'll track your stress. You don't have to worry about doing that.
Okay.
You can if you want, but I will track it.
All right.
So that's 2 stress that you have gained in mind. So let me see here. I actually have 2. Let's see. Actually, didn't think I was going to need a dice, but I am. So let me pull a die real quick. Sorry.
That's okay.
No,
Remember, I only found my character sheet about 3 seconds before we went live. So,
The good thing is you don't suffer any fallout. So nothing too bad comes with that failure. But yeah, you don't find anything, or at least nothing of major interest. So.
All right. So I'm just gonna look over to Hester and be like, nothing here.
I'm just gonna look at him and shake my head.
He's looking a little further off. He's definitely wandered outside of the crime scene. he
looking at a garbage can.
He caught on to something that drew him a little bit further away. All right, Vermisian Sage. So do you want to roll to see if you find anything, or you got something else?
Yes, actually, because I happen to have the handy skill of investigate.
Okay. So that's going to give you an extra D10, and then you just take the highest.
10.
All right, so that's a critical success. You're gonna, which there's nothing really to inflict stress upon in this. There's no enemies or anything, so we're not going to worry about. Critical success usually gives you. You get to inflict some stress on something, but we're not going to do that. So yeah. So as you're poking around, looking around the body, and just checking everything, you find back kind of behind. You find this big, kind of big needle, big syringe that has. It's got curled up ends where you would use on the injector portion, but you find actually a couple of those laying around.
I will sneak them into my robes as best I can.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, because they're still not paying attention yet. So
cool. All right. I will grab those, and then I will immediately find a way to blend into the crowd as best as I'm able.
All right.
I'll motion for Hwent to follow me, to get back over here in the first place. And I'll pat the side of my robe indicating that I have something, and just make my way back over towards Elisa standing, I guess.
Okay. And I'm gonna look over. Still nothing to find over here. Can't find anything.
Maybe you should just go get us some food.
All right, Amanda, are you done? Or are you still sticking around, see if you can find anything else? Or are you
No, I
retreating with
think
the others?
I'm good. I'm going to retreat.
Okay. All right. So, Darvith. So you see that your fellow, I don't know, compatriots or whatever have started scattering from the scene. So you probably feel comfortable if you wanted to wrap this up, you could, or I mean, you can keep going.
It's time for the grand finale.
I mean, so like when you say wrap this up.
I mean, that's however you feel.
Excellent.
Go out with a bang.
So I would like to use compel to incite a riot.
Okay.
And see if I can get these people to turn on the guards.
All right. What do you roll for that?
Well, I don't have a skill for that. I'm asking if I can use compel.
Oh, okay. Yeah, compel. Yeah. You can roll on this crowd and see if you can incite them into taking it to these city guards.
Sweet.
So I'm gonna say, let me see. Let me get to Firebrand here. I imagine you're gonna get some extra dice on this, just because this is your thing.
I would assume.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So you're gonna get 1d10, one for compel. Let's see if there's anything else.
Are we in a low society or high society area?
I think we're more high society. Ivory Row is definitely more high society.
I have high society.
There you go. That's three dice. 3d10.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. So yeah, you got a 10. So that's a critical success. Did you just roll the 110? No extra 10s? Because you'll get a. Okay. So yeah, critical success. So yeah, this crowd, what do you say to them? How do you turn their attention from you onto this city guard in a way that is just going to lead to this brawl in the street?
So I've been going about, people who oppress us and who hold us down and stop us from achieving our potential for an enlightened society that is better and built on the bones of this failed, corrupt, whatever. And then I'm dramatically, and the people here today with their boots on your neck are these guards, and kind of call them out and point all that pensive rage right there.
And these guards are starting to be like, "What? What do you mean?"
Yeah. Well, I mean, they're really taken aback. They, some of them,
And, let the blood run in the streets.
Yeah. So this crowd, especially the drow are definitely leading this turnaround. And I mean, one grabs the nearest city guard, just throws a vicious headbutt into them. And it just turns into just this nasty fight in this alleyway here.
I am in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You're in there. You're right in the middle of this.
You folks have lost me from the mission for a moment.
Mosh pit.
There's a riot. I am. Yeah. Gonna crack some heads.
Can I see what's going on and go and swing over and join the melee?
I mean, if you want to be in there, man.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do that.
So y'all are in there,
because I can't let Darvith have all the fun.
So I'm a sledgehammer, and I've got this guard, like I'm under his arms and using the sledgehammer and holding him back so people can stab him in the stomach.
I'm not going to have y'all do any rows on this because I mean, y'all's party with the citizens are definitely in control of this. So and y'all are a little more specialized, so there's no real risk of you all coming out of here harmed. So, yeah, y'all do that for a while. It's a fun time for you all. What about the rest of you all?
Well, once I get over to Elise, I'll wave Callow over actually, and when they both get there, I'll pull the two syringes just out, so they can both see them, because I'm thinking we got a midwife and a priest, so the two best people in the group to look at these things is probably you guys. Yeah, I'm just like, hey, these are neat.
Y'all are all circled around these as he holds these out. You're all circled around in the background. You see a city guard go flying up in the air, and you see
what better time to have a conversation?
You see Wimp give a good old macho man elbow off of a dumpster. But yeah, y'all are looking at this, and Callow, the first thing you notice is these things have that smell.
Ugh. It smells like whatever was in that body. Where'd you find this?
They were actually hidden in some of the refuse and everything behind the body.
I'd definitely hang on to them. I think that might be something that was used on them before they died. The body smelled the same way.
Kent, would I know if this is Drek?
I think you would probably put it together.
Okay.
Once it was pointed out, you kind of sniffed the vial, you know. You would put it together that this person who's been killed was, well, go ahead and give me a roll. How about a mind roll?
Sure.
Let me see if you have anything else that would help you out here. Add a dice for investigate.
Okay. 4 and a 10.
Okay, so you got a 10. Yeah. So you smell this and you kind of look at the person, what's left of the person who's been killed, and while this fight's going on, you steal over there and you notice that there are puncture wounds like in their arm where they may have taken this, but they're really fresh and you don't see a bunch of other ones. And the more you look at this person, their clothing and everything, this doesn't seem like the type of person you would know who uses Drek.
Okay. You guys, I'm pretty sure that this is Drek. And I don't think our victim used it on themselves. I've seen a lot of people go down this path. And this is not what a typical Drek user looks like, physically, health-wise. This was new to them.
What exactly does Drek do?
Well, Drek, it's very addictive. Like any of you know anything about Drek, you know that it is very, very addictive. But the thing that it does is it hits you. It hits you with a high, and everything is funny to you, especially cruelty. So people on Drek are known to, be bullies in a sense. They just find being mean very funny. So while they're on this, riding this high, they're being pretty awful people. The type who, just beat up like homeless people in the street for no reason.
Is it the kind of drug that like would allow you to like go through a lot of self-harm, or like would you feel pain on this?
So I'm wondering
if there's 2 vials of this stuff behind this guy. He was really dosed.
You probably could feel harm. It definitely would not lead to you hurting yourself though.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely this feeling is definitely directed outwards. Bash Brothers, give me a little flavor of this fight as it wraps up.
So I grab. Are there non-guard Aelfir in here?
No. They
There's a
wouldn't.
shop nearby.
A shop?
Yeah.
Yes, there's a shop nearby.
In an Aelfir shop.
Sure.
Cool. I torch it.
Okay. Molotov cocktail through the front window. Yeah. Doug, Went, what? Give me something as this breaks itself apart.
I'm just like bashing people's skulls in, and then once Darvith lights this place on fire, it immediately gets my attention, and I just stop. And even though the chaos is still like going on around me, I'm just like amazed that he took it that far.
Yeah, Went got a little lost in the moment.
Yeah.
But didn't sign on for torchings.
Yeah,
so,
no.
Firebrand.
All right, so we will have you all leave the scene. Unless anybody else has anything they want to do here, we'll have you leave the scene.
I am all about leaving.
I think Arson is probably a good place to leave it off.
Yeah.
You probably have to like drag me away a little bit. Like I'm like,
shouting at him over the crowd.
Darveth,
We are leaving.
We don't the flame of revolution will never grow into a bonfire that burns this wretched city to the ground.
Yeah. You all hightail it back, maybe back towards Perch, somewhere far away from here. The people, the normal citizens, they're all breathing real heavy. Their knuckles are bleeding, and they're all like, "Oh."
Wondering why exactly they went through all of this.
Like, I don't know what just happened, but it felt good.
Looking around for their newfound leader of the rebellion, and he's just gone.
they go off for drinks somewhere.
Do we have like a lair or a safe house or something?
I don't think y'all have probably set up a safe house.
We probably should, folks. We can't just go hiding in taverns and drinking our way into the next morning.
I mean, our bound is definitely from Perch, so maybe they have a home there that they would offer up. I mean, of all the places around here, Perch would be the safest because, the hanginess of it and the lack of city guard usually patrolling it.
Yeah. We'll see if I can change that.
No. The status quo is okay for the moment.
Whoa.
Just in Perch.
That's the wrong thing to say to him.
Actually, I'll put it to you another way, Darveth. This will be the place where you foment your rebellion. So you need to keep this relatively off the grid until you're ready. Okay,
that makes sense.
I don't know if Darveth understands. Don't poop where you eat.
Not a concept.
He definitely understands that concept, but I'm gonna buy can I buy a leaflet printer or something on the way home?
Sure. I mean, you probably have one. You strike me as the type who likes to print up propaganda material.
We're at Went's house, and I am printing out incendiary revolutionary leaflets to distribute in Perch. I'm not where I eat, but I'm definitely gonna go number one.
We're trying to have a conversation, and you're over there quack, 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 quack.
We're trying to solve a crime, and he's just like, whatever, I don't care.
You're rich.
All right, so you all are at Perch's. You all are at Went's house. Went, tell us about your humble home.
It's, I would say that it's probably in a cave on the side of Spire, and it's kind of hollowed out, and it's got all this, all this. We'll say it's all these miscellaneous weapons and stuff that's littered the walls of this cave, and it's really just dark and not really a place that most normal people would probably live.
Yeah, the greatest thing about Went is dude usually rows solitary, so y'all are cramped.
Yeah, it's definitely not.
There's a table with one chair. Exactly. And I'm oblivious to the fact that you guys are not in a comfortable position. It's just this whole really awkward, because I'm not used to entertaining folks, and so I just am clueless to the fact that you guys don't have places to sit, and
I mean, he took the only chair in the room for himself.
Pretty much.
So, all right. So yeah, we're back on y'all. I'm handing it back to you all. Where do you go from here?
Well, obviously the killer's using Drek. I mean, that much we can pretty much surmise for certain.
Why?
So we need to find somebody who deals in Drek, I guess, and maybe if this guy's using this much of it on each of his victims, he must be buying a fair bit of it. Either that, or he's producing it, or something like that. He's definitely related to the drug trade, that's for sure.
We have another lead as well.
What is the other lead? What is it?
That body, the way it was opened, that's not something that anyone could have done, or just anyone could have done. This person,
a particular set of skills?
It requires a particular tool and set of skills that goes along with it, and the only people who have them are the morticians. So this person either is one or is associated with them.
All right. So, all right then.
And why are they giving their victims Drek? What are they having their victims do before they kill them?
Yeah, you would think with that much Drek in your system, if you're going to be that prone to violence, Alan.
Alan's still producing pamphlets.
Yeah, you would think that if they're going to be that prone to violence, you would think that there would be not just the fact that a murder happened, but you would also have some sort of major fight happening beforehand. Like,
Well,
I wonder if we could find where, some instance of where a lot of people got into a brawl or whatever, and maybe.
Well,
if only we could do that.
If only, a brawl would be a clear indicator of someone on Drek.
Actually,
and not just someone being incendiary.
Do we have any indication of how, like when Kahl was examining the body, do we have any indication of how long that person was dead for?
Kahl, you know things about death. You would know that they probably hadn't been dead more than a day. A day at most,
Right. It was still pretty fresh within 24 hours.
And would once that person was arranged and hung in that manner, was that person placed there after they were killed and opened up, or were they placed there and then killed and opened up? Because you can't just do that and not be seen. Like, there's no way that happens, and everybody's like, oh, I didn't see anything.
Kahl, I think that you would probably reckon that it was hung there afterwards. It'd be kind of, this body was hung up a little bit high,
Right.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's kind of a production to get up there and do that.
Yeah. The body was probably placed there after the fact, just if for no other reason, there's nowhere to stand and murder someone from where they were hung.
Well, yeah, that's what I was getting at. I was like, I know that the guards were just guarding the crime scene and everything. But
it's not necessarily the crime scene, just the place where they left the body.
Exactly, right. Do we know, has there been any indication as to who's doing the investigating? Or is this just a crime being cleaned up and moved on, or what?
There is some investigation by the city guard. They've learned to identify the crime scene, and they're never finding much new out of it, So okay. I'm not going to say there's there's a lead investigator, but yeah, I don't think that's a route that I think that'd be as a GM, I'm going to say that's a route that's not worth exploring.
All right.
His name is Lestrade, and he knows absolutely nothing.
So you do have a couple of threads you could pull on here. You do have whoever's doing these killings either is a mortician or has access to mortician tools. You have a thread of the Drek itself. There has been a big just influx of this drug running through Perch and New Haven primarily, but also filtering out into Ivory Road and stuff as well.
Mm.
I wonder if the murders have slowed down people from using it.
Do we know how many morticians are in the area?
Well, the morticians are mostly up in New Haven, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
And we don't have any means of knowing. Well, we don't have a mortician in the group, so
yeah, you do. Oh no, you don't. No, you don't. Sorry,
not in this one. No.
Yeah, no.
I was going to say we don't have any means of knowing. Like, I don't know if they regularly, report where they're going or where they've been or something. I don't know if they're that kind of a group.
Well, we can either start looking at the morticians, or we can try to find someone who's dealing the Drek.
Oh, and your third thread, which is connected to the Swan thread, is the route of the Torch newspaper.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is where we were heading the first time.
They definitely know something about it. Yeah.
I might know somebody who's dealing Drek.
Is it you? Is it you, Darvin?
Well, now would be a good time to tell us who, Darvith.
Oh, I know this guy down at the docks.
Are you friendly with him?
Yeah. Friendly with everybody. Everybody likes me.
As friendly as Darvith can be.
Yeah.
I'm a people person.
You haven't hit him with a hammer before, have you?
Doesn't have to do with liking anybody.
Okay.
Just try to imagine for a second Darvith on Drek.
Or don't.
Let's not.
Yeah, let's not
He's
give him
actually
that
really
idea.
into puppies and kittens.
Yeah.
Well, if you think that he'll talk to you, maybe
Yeah,
that's where we start.
yeah, let's go down there. That's cool.
All right, so party, oh party. Do you want to go together and pull on this one thread, or do you want to split off and divide and conquer? We haven't heard from the Bound. Wint, what's your thoughts here?
I think everybody just needs to get out of my house.
Dude, don't stretch your arms. We're standing right here.
Yeah.
It's your
Fourth elbow in my face.
Fourth thread of eviction suddenly appears before the players.
I'm Hester, don't touch that. Don't touch that. That's very important.
I can't not touch things. I literally can't turn around without bumping into either you or something of us. How do you live in a shoebox like this? Like, this is the smallest cave I've ever seen in my life.
Well, usually it's just me. It doesn't. I don't have very many guests here. Yeah. I think we should just let's just get out of my kit. Let's get out of here. Let's come on. Let's.
All right.
Okay. Jeez, you don't have to push.
All right, Darvith. Regrettably, you are in the lead. Take us to a drug dealer.
and with the proclamation of "Let's get out of my cave," we leave this cave. We do a nice side swipe, and suddenly we're at the Sky Docks as one big party.
Hooray.
The Sky Docks, which is a big hustle bustle. You know that sky whales fly into here, drop stuff off, take stuff away. There's none of that happening right now because it is just not. Because I feel like you all would try to take a sky whale, and honestly, that's not a hurdle I'm willing to deal with at the moment.
I would totally take a sky whale.
True. It's true. That's the thing that would happen.
Leaflets as we go.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. What do these say? I need to know what these say if you're handing these out to everybody.
Oh, they're classic propaganda style posters, right? With like workers uprising and overthrow the oppressors.
All right, fair enough. That's fine. As long as it's not like, hey, me and my friends are looking to start a rebellion. Please call us at one.
We look like this. Here's Went's address.
Yeah. Meet us at the cave. Yeah.
No, but you are giving a nice little trail of where we've been, so maybe don't do that the whole way.
Just part of the
You
way.
know, that sort of lackadaisical attitude towards oppression is why the Fair have been oppressing Drow for centuries.
And this sort of sloppy work is why it hasn't gotten very far. Because
If you're not part of the solution, you're part of the problem.
you're part of the problem because you're letting the authorities track us.
Do I see any authorities following us?
Oh, for the sake of the story progression, no.
Fine to me.
But I will say one thing, Darvith, you would know this, that usually I would say drug dealers probably aren't fond of a group of 5 rolling up on them, asking questions.
All right. So you folks are going to need to wait here. Except Elle. Elle can come with me because she's creepy.
All right.
Drug dealers don't like creepy.
All right. You other 4, 1, 3? Yeah, 3. You other 3. What's it doing? What are y'all doing? Just gonna hang tight?
I'm actually going to look for someone selling a copy of the Torch.
Okay, yeah. You'll find that. You'll find a little stand. I mean, of course, the Torch and all the other newspapers, there's a little row of newspapers, and there's definitely a little stand selling the Torch there.
Okay. I'll purchase a copy from the vendor.
Okay. One copy has been purchased.
I will begin reading it while Buckles and Callow do their thing.
Okay.
I'm going to reach down and pet Na and say, I really should get a dog.
Amanda, that is up to you on how that goes.
Comes back with one less hand.
No, Noah's just gonna enjoy the ear scratches, and I'm just gonna look at him weirdly and go, "He's not a dog. He's a hyena."
Okay.
Actually, on that subject, are there a lot of animals around?
Like here?
Yeah, well, like how common is it for someone to have an animal companion?
For carrion priests, it's very common. New Heaven, hyenas. When you're in a mile-high city, you don't travel all the way down to the bottom of the spire to bury bodies.
Yeah, that's true.
So you find animals which will do that for you.
All right, then. I was just curious. I'll go back to reading my paper.
So y'all enjoy the evening paper, and we'll rush up the street over to Darvith and Elle as you search for your contact, your drug dealer that you know.
Yeah, well, you never gave me a name for him or her, whatever.
Let's go with Stefan.
Okay, got it. How well do I know Stefan?
You tell me.
We go way back. We're actually brothers,
Oh, okay.
but we don't get along.
What a lovely family you have.
You have no idea. I have 14 brothers.
So what does Stefan usually do here on the Sky Dogs?
Well, he's technically a dock master, according to the background. So he's probably doing the dealing on the side, I would assume.
Yeah.
But he's a dock master.
Okay.
So, Stefan?
Darvith brings you up from your dregs up Spire.
I have some questions for you.
Well,
I'll turn and look at Elle. All right, here you go.
and he looks at Elle and he's like, why'd you bring one of those with you?
One of what?
One of the midwives.
She's my friend and she works with me.
Well, no offense, but midwives are, prone to scaring people off, and I'm doing business up here.
Well, maybe you should answer our questions so we can leave.
You didn't ever answer my question about what brings you up from
Said
down
I had
Spire.
questions. This is not a complicated conversation, Darvith.
Well, what are your questions then?
It's about Drek.
Oh, okay. This is one of those conversations we need to have over there. Hey, Boyd, I'm going to need you to master the docks here for a minute. Just do it, Boyd.
Is that the official term for when you're dock mastering the docks?
Yeah.
I like it. I'm on board.
So Stefan, brother of Darvith, leads y'all over to a nice little, area away from everybody. So you suddenly taken up Drek?
We just want to know where we can get it.
You can get it just about, anywhere. I could give it to you. Not give. Obviously not give. That was the slip of the tongue. You scare me a bit.
Good.
I don't like the way you said that there.
Good.
So who do you get it from?
Well, why would I tell you that? Seems like you would undercut my business.
I have no interest in dealing with Drek. I just want to speak to where you get your supply from.
Well, he looks over at Darvith.
Don't look at me. She's asking questions.
Looks back at Elle. I'm gonna need some convincing.
I hit him in the knees with my hammer.
Is he your brother?
I think my brother. I liked him.
He takes a knee. He takes a knee on the dock.
Like, I don't like break them. I just like
Yeah.
use the handle, right, and like rack him in the back of the knees.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he
I'm
takes
not
the
a
knee,
cripple him. Jeez, I'm not a monster.
looks up. He says, "You are a son of our mother." And says, "Fine. I know this game. Darvith will eventually go too far, and I'll be walking on a cracked ankle again, just like when I was a kid."
You make it sound like it was an accident.
So, all right. So, Drek's been moving a lot lately. Everybody knows that from the reports in the paper, all that. That's no news, but it is all coming out of one spot. Everybody seems to be getting it from this Azurite. I don't have a name or anything, but I know all the people in my circle. They all talk about this Azurite that they've been getting it from. That seems to be the top of the chain, at least, of this recent inflow of Drek.
And where can we find this Azurite?
I don't know. Mine filters down to me through about 7 different folks.
I hit him in the knees.
He takes both knees. Yeah, mine still filters down through about 7 different folks. Listen, I'm not in the point of lying to you at this point. All I can do here is lose use of my legs. And you know what's hard to do with no legs?
Master a doc.
Yeah. That's right, bud. See, look at Boyd over there. See how much he's walking around? Boyd is just tearing back and forth across the docks. I'm not even sure what he's doing, but he's doing it.
He's just looking busy.
I couldn't do that with even a stub toe. So, my livelihood here. I've told you what I know.
Okay. I'm satisfied. Darvith?
So,
I'm good.
Okay.
all right. So I can stand up now.
Yes, you can stand up now.
All right. I'm going to stand up now. Darvith punches you straight in the face. And walks off back to work.
And this is where the second riot begins.
That's fair.
All right, newspaper party.
Just out of curiosity, is there anything like in my reading of the newspaper about the murder?
So you do know there's been the murder. The torch has definitely received. They don't print a lot, but they do say that the clue they received definitely matches up with the back of the singing toad. They don't say exactly what the clue is, but per normal, the clue they got. I mean, now that hindsight's 2020, they can put it together and they see, yeah, this clue definitely led to where this body was left.
Okay, so this has been their MO the whole time. Then they get a clue and then they kind of retroactively say, "Aha! This is how the."
Yeah, I mean, no other papers are getting these clues. So, I mean, you all can tell that by just the smaller stack of the torch at this stand of newspapers, this little row of newspapers.
Yeah, it's
more people are definitely buying the torch than anything else.
Maybe it's just a disgusting ploy to sell papers. Oh, that's terrible.
That's very terrible. Ugh.
How close are we now to the torch home office at this side of the spire?
Well, let me get back to my map. You're actually further than you were.
Okay,
you traveled up Spire some. So
that will be something to do next time. Well, crap.
So yeah, the other two come walking up about this time.
Well, did you learn anything interesting? I saw you over there with your hammer out.
What?
No, don't you what me. I saw the hammer swinging around.
We were just talking to my brother.
Yes, with a hammer.
We did learn one interesting thing. Apparently, most of the Drek is coming from an Azurite. Azurite?
Azurite.
Really?
We'll go with Azurite.
Thanks.
From the Azurite or an Azurite?
And
An.
Azurite.
So what? Okay, well that's interesting.
Which you all know Azurites are, I mean, they move product of all different sorts through Spire.
So we're looking for one Azurite. Okay.
We weren't able to get a name, but at least it narrows it down a little.
Yeah, that's way more than we knew when we got here. All right. What do we know about the Azurites? Is there anything common knowledge about?
I mean, they're
Azurites?
traders. They make deals. They
Right.
facilitate a lot of movement of goods and stuff.
So we
you
might
know-
find
you
some
know
in the
that
Skydocks then.
Yeah, they dress in blue. So yeah, there'd definitely be Azurite at the Skydocks. You know, you'd see them around. They facilitate a lot of that stuff. They make business deals. You know, all over
Okay.
Spire, up and down.
Do any of us have an in with the Azurites? I've got nothing myself.
I've got nothing.
Mm-mm.
Probably not. Probably none of
All
you. I mean, you know that the ministry definitely uses Azurite at the same time. You know, they because they're good at, you know, moving stuff, so they're definitely a valuable resource to the ministry.
Well, yeah, they'd be the ideal people to distribute Drek, that's for sure.
Well, I mean, if we just find an Azurite, I can ask him some questions.
All right. But we don't need to bust the kneecaps of everyone in the Spire.
I have
To
not
maybe-
broken the kneecap yet.
That sounds like a challenge you're willing to
Yet.
accept,
What?
though.
I'm not willing to exclude the possibility of future kneecappings. All I'm saying is I haven't done it yet.
So how would we get in with the Azurites then? We need we need to.
Got one off the street.
I mean,
Well, kidnapping is an option, yes.
I think you could definitely start making your rounds of Azurite. Just
I'm
saying,
just
hey,
wondering, like,
any word of one of you filtering drugs through, you know?
Okay.
I don't know of how far that would take you. Might be easier to find somebody using Drek and backtrace it that way, you know.
well, we're just gonna find.
You definitely have a couple. Definitely have a couple routes that you could go.
Yeah. Well, to the Azurite. Well, no, I don't. I wouldn't know that.
I mean, we could just go right back over to Stefan and ask him for the name of his direct dealer and follow that chain.
I go back to Stefan.
All right, so yeah, Darvith walks off.
We're gonna have to buy that guy dinner or something.
Comes back 10 minutes later with the name.
And a slightly bloody hammer.
No, we just talk. We're brothers.
Let's see, with the name, let's go with Spoke.
Okay.
So he gets his weekly supply of Drek from a human named Spoke.
A human.
Yeah, which Spire? I mean, there's human. There's
Oh yeah.
yeah. So it's you know, it's not all elves up in this business.
All right. And where would we find Mr. Spoke? Or Mrs. I don't know.
I mean, you got this information too. We're not going to send Darvith back over there to.
Third time.
Every time you have a question.
And one more thing.
He actually meets him here on the Skydocks once a week. You know, in a on the other side of the Skydocks.
Okay.
It wouldn't happen to be tonight, would it?
It could be. No, it's not tonight. It's not tonight. So it's about this time. Actually, let's check in with our bound. What do you think of all this, Wint?
I I think it's. I think we're wasting our time, and I'm still just petting the dog. What I think is a dog.
Dog.
I hope. I mean, Winter's definitely saying all this out loud.
Right.
Down on one knee. I think we're wasting our time.
That's exactly what I'm.
What do you think we should be doing instead, Went?
We should be going to the paper, seeing how these clues are getting to the paper. I don't. I think trailing the ladder up to the top of this Drek chain is just gonna prove pointless.
Well,
I think we need something a little substantial.
We probably have time to go to the torch before we have to meet this guy or girl. Spoke.
We do
Whatever
have
you
the
got.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you guys want to do.
All right. We'll yeah, we'll just make our way to the torch, I guess. Unless somebody else has something else they want to do first or on the way.
No, that sounds good.
Call
Right.
it torch, right?
What's
Yes.
that?
Yeah, I like that.
Ugh,
Good name.
Alan's gonna light it on fire. We gotta get info before Alan lights it on fire.
No burning the paper building down.
The building's made of paper.
No,
That's a terrible building material.
the building that the paper is printed in. You know what I mean. No burning things.
So you all set off, gonna head down Spire to go to the works where the torch office is. So yeah, you turn from the docks and you head off. Darvith, a young lad bumps into you and then just runs off.
Uh-oh.
Check your pockets, Darvith.
That's a thing, you know.
Wait till he tries to use his hammer next time.
Do you check your pockets, Darvith?
No.
Okay.
Did you take my hammer?
No, you guys
His hammer's just
hammer.
gone. Like, wait a minute.
Wait, let me rephrase that. Did they take my hammer or my gun? Because apparently I have a gun.
No, they didn't take anything. They didn't take anything from you.
I mean, I'll check my pockets. It seems like the plot requires that, so I will do it.
If you don't want to check your pockets, don't check your pockets. You can head on to the torch.
Maybe I'll find a sandwich.
You do find a sandwich. You left one there from yesterday's lunch. So, but you also do find a note. And it's not just any note. It is a note that you, and if you pull it out for everyone to see, would recognize instantly as correspondence from your Magister.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
news
I'm not
from
super
the boss.
pull it out. Hey, we got to know from the boss.
Could you just yell that a little bit louder in the middle of the street?
Give me
Darvith?
that.
Hey,
No, I was not offering that as a challenge.
So yeah, you open, Callow, you open this note, unless you've stopped her from taking it. You haven't stopped her from taking it. I don't want anyone else getting hit with a hammer. You open this note, Callow, and there's just a few words on it. It says, "You're making too much noise. Report back for new instructions."
Oh, guess what? We're in trouble because of the rioting and burning things and
look,
hitting people with hammers.
That was
Now-
all Darvith.
Now we have to go
What?
talk.
we're
Now
saying
we have to go talk to the boss because we're making too much noise. So maybe stop hitting people with hammers.
I never hit anybody with the hammer.
Yes, you
That is
did.
completely
Guard,
accurate.
one guard. Nobody cares about guards.
All right. Well, okay. Change of plans. We're definitely going to our Magister first then.
I thought
Yeah.
we were going to the torch.
No,
No,
we're
no.
going where we've been told to go.
You got changed, Darvith.
The thing about the ministry is, and most anybody, as part of the ministry, you know that your family, your friends, and the ministry itself would sell you out in a heartbeat if it furthered, if one, you were making too much noise, or if it furthered their mission.
Yeah. So if they
So
want us to report back for making too much
Make
noise,
your own choice here. I will go with what you say. by not reporting to when summoned, probably could not end the best for you, or would at least make your life difficult.
That's exactly it.
I'm going. I get it. I derailed the plot. I'm
assuming.
Oh
there's
no, you haven't
instructions on where to
derailed
go.
it at all. You actually set things in motion that are helpful. So
We've been summoned. We need to appear.
Everybody's always like, we need to be sneaky, and sometimes you just got to break through the door, kick evil in the face, or oppression, or guards, whatever's in there. Just kick it in the face.
yeah, so you know that your Magister is actually has a day job as a mortician. So you're gonna have to go. You were gonna have to go up.
Why didn't we start there?
Well, because your Magister set you on a course. If they had information to give to you, they would have gave it to you.
Probably this one.
Yeah.
So you know
It's gonna
you
be a
were.
Scooby-Doo ending.
You know that you are going to be heading. You're going to be heading. Let's see here. 1 second. Just make sure I get this right. Yeah, you're heading off to you're this mortician. You're heading off to New Heaven, which is
Alright.
definitely up,
Okay.
up Spire, like almost near the top. So it's going to take you a while to get there, but you know you've been summoned, so you're going to head up that way. So
Yeah.
the evening passes as you make your way up. Anything y'all want to talk about or anything on your way up there?
How much trouble we're in?
I'm just gonna look at Darvis every so often and like give him a dirty look for making us go all the way out of our way to.
I am completely oblivious, and I am busy talking about the revolution and how we need to overthrow the people who oppress us.
Yes,
And I have these leaflets.
we know.
Those leaflets are the things that's getting us in trouble.
You know
Actually,
what? Fine. Are we near an edge? I throw them over the edge.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, great. So now they're just raining down the side of the spire,
Yes, they are.
There's a
blowing in every open window.
slow motion shot looking up as Darth runs over and just throws these out. And they just come wafting, waving down. One flies in front of the camera so you can read everything that's on it.
That was pretty and dramatic.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we'll say about midnight, you make it up to New Heaven. Your meeting place is in the basement of, is in a basement of a derelict tower of silence that's near the border of Mortician and Charnelite territory. So you come up to this tower of silence and make your way around to the back, come in, start making your way to the basement.
Before we do that,
Sure.
can I say that on the way there, I would have wanted to ask everyone, are we sharing all the information we have found so far?
Amongst ourselves?
I mean, with our boss.
Oh,
He's a mortician, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably the swan. You probably shouldn't tell him.
Well, you know that there's more than one mortician, right? You know, there's a lot of them.
Yeah, but how better to get somebody off your trail than to control the investigation?
I can't really argue
There's a
that.
point.
Is it a good point though? Is it really?
I don't think it's the case in this instance.
Well, of course you don't. That's what they want.
No,
If you were
I
onto them, it wouldn't be a good plan.
don't see a conspiracy around every corner, just every other corner.
You live in a city where your people are literally indentured to oppressors who live above you, and there are sky whales. Okay?
What does the sky whale have anything to do with it?
The sky whales.
I mean, it's very cool, but
They're into it. They know.
the sky whales are in on it. Okay,
This whole tower is built on conspiracy.
well, that's a terrible building material too.
Let's consider the
A metaphor.
let's consider the possibility that we're not in fact actually being directed by the person that we're trying to investigate.
I refuse to consider the possibility that I am not being played by somebody smarter than me.
All right, but just consider this possibility.
That's happening right now.
Now that we have this information, maybe there's something else that they could help us with. Because as far as we know, no one realizes that there's a mortician involved in this.
Yeah. Nobody, that's not common knowledge at all.
No. So it could be that they might be able to give us more insight and a new direction to investigate in. If they're not actually the mastermind behind this, playing us this whole time. Which, I guess it's possible, but I still don't really believe it's probable.
And if we're wrong and we all die, you can say, I told you so.
Say, told you so anyway.
Yes, we'll give you that. You're allowed to say that.
All right, so we're telling them everything?
We can tell him or
it's
her
not going to help
everything.
us if we hold things back. Really. At this point, we're just starting. So if we're holding back the basics, it's just going to screw us up down the road. Don't everybody agree with me at once?
I mean,
Oh, I'm fine. I just wanted to
agree.
make sure we were all on the same page before we go in. And
Oh yeah, no,
Have this
that's
conversation.
definitely something to have talked about for sure. We don't want to like have one person saying, "I don't know anything."
I picture we're outside our boss's door, like loudly having a conversation before we go in.
Arguing with Darvith. No,
I
Darvith,
said-
we're not going to. You keep
I sit on
being
the
bad
walk
guy.
there. I sit on the way there.
I think I was gonna say I think every few minutes Went goes to grab the handle and y'all start talking and he's like, oh
Ugh. What? Oh, come on! Oh man!
All right,
Still
just
Just
to
let me
go.
know when you're done.
All right. We can.
I think we're done. We're in agreement now.
Yeah.
You can
Right.
open the door.
So you open the door of this tower of silence, and you start making your way into the secret basement. So you find the shelf. You pull the book. The thing slides aside. You start
Okay.
making your way down.
And can it be like a bust with the head that comes back, and then you push the red button, and then like the
Yep, it does
Yeah.
all of that.
all
yeah.
right. And is
red-
there like a pole that we slide down?
The red button is pushed. The bookcase.
I am not pole dancing.
The bookcase slides out of the way. There's stairs. There's also a pole. So
I definitely go
will
down
take
the pole.
So some of you take stairs. Some of you take the pole.
You know how much noise you're going to make going down there covered in buckles,
Buckles jingle. You know,
wheeling against the metal.
the bookcase slides back shut. The bust head falls back into place. And yeah, you're in the secret basement. It's lit by candlelight. There's some books, desk, a nice seating area where you can sit and meet with the Magister. The Magister, though, is not behind their desk. Well, they're not sitting behind their desk. As you look up on the wall, you see they are pinned to the wall with their chest cracked open, their heart missing, and some glass feathers shoved into the cheeks into their cheekbones and their eyes. And
You guys still think it's this guy?
we close out on that.
Doug, I want to swear.
I told you so.
And the session comes to a close with Went yelling, "Y'all still think it's this guy?"
Probably a decoy. It's probably
Yeah, Darvith, sure.
Totally him. He's faking. He's faking having that organ missing. It's fine.
Nice.
Yeah, there we are. We have wandered our way a little bit around this adventure.
That's good. It's good.
You've definitely got some threads. You definitely have a big giant rope though hanging down in front of you now as you have found your Magister. The person who always gets you, who has kicked off this whole thing, pinned to the wall, a victim of the swan.
Oh.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
that's not good. That's not good.
Doug, take your show back.
In my face. All right. Thank you so much, Kent. And thank you, everybody that tuned in and watched episode. This is what, episode 2, right? Is that what
Pretty much episode 1. The first
Episode
one was
1?
session 0. Yeah.
I can't remember how I numbered it previously. But if you like this session, please give it a like down below. And make sure to check out all the interesting things that everybody has going on. I'll put their links down below. And Amanda, what's going on?
What?
I don't know. You were doing hand gestures.
That's what I do. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I
wore my dump stat tee.
I'm not. Yeah. Yeah.
Let's make sure. Oh, look at that! Nice.
Mine's still dirty from the convention I was at this weekend. I haven't caught up on laundry yet.
I mean, honestly, mine's probably dirty too, but loyal to the brand.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you haven't check out dumpstattees.com. Yeah. It's a brand of shirts that Amanda and I have going on right now, and we're going to be going on quite a bit this year. You'll probably be seeing us all over the place here in the next few months, probably the rest of 2019, which is really, really exciting, and we thank everybody for supporting the brand. Alan, what's going on with Gala Night Games? You want to talk a little bit about anything you got going on coming up? Any updates on any projects you got going on? No? Okay. No. All right. Good deal. Nice chatting with you.
Actually, we are making an announcement soon that I will make sure it gets out to everybody. I can't talk about it yet, but it's awesome and exciting and stuff.
Okay, well, that was very informative, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for coming on the show yet again and making these big announcements on VCG. We'll definitely be on pins and needles waiting for that announcement, as always, because you always put out great stuff over at Gala Night Games. Kristin, what anything you want to tell us before we sign off? Any Dice Up Games things going on? What do you guys have any conventions? You got any projects in the works that people might need to be taking a look for here shortly?
We have a couple new hacks that are on drive-thru or on diceupgames.com, and we'll hopefully be at Big Bad Con, since that is on our coast, finally, a big convention over here. So hopefully we will be there. Yeah, that's about it.
Excellent. And Kent, what's going on with Roll to Play? Do we want to talk a little bit about that before we sign off?
Well, Roll to Play at the moment, we're taking a bit of a break as we change things up a bit. Nothing to talk about at the moment, but there are some pretty big changes coming to Roll to Play. Not necessarily the show itself, but the way we're going to do some things. So it's pretty exciting. I'm very excited about it. We are putting in we're in the final stages of talking about it. Next comes the doing about it. So, and then we'll be announcing. But yeah, so nothing new on the show. Check out our Red Death arc, which was 10 episodes of our it was Dungeons and Dragons 2E module, Mask of the Red Death that we ran. That Doug Lewandowski, co-designer of Kids on Bikes, ran myself, Tim, Devine, Morgan Nuncio, and Cleo Yunsu Davis through. Good big 10-parter of the first arc. I thought it was pretty good.
Is that the original, the second edition box set?
Yeah, but heck, I don't know that. I don't know D&D. I know it's a 2E thing, but we are using 5E rules.
I used to have that box set until I sold my D&D collection like a heathen.
Wow.
But yeah, there's 10 episodes of a good thing you can go listen to. So.
Excellent. Well, we'll definitely tune in for that. All right, folks, that's going to do it for this episode of Spire. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and the little bell down below if you want notifications every single time we go live here on VCG. And you can tune in for every single actual play and interview and any review that we do here on the show. We appreciate everybody that's a part of our VCG community. And we love everybody that embraces the whole concept of winning shouldn't be the only victory condition when you get to the table. We'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.